Well, good evening, distinguished partners, distinguished investors of United Financial Group. I am happy to welcome you to our live webinar. Every second Thursday, we have a live webinar. The schedule is a little bit moved, but we are happy to tell you at 5:30 p.m. to share our success with you and to share dividends later, because as investors, you get dividends every 6 months from our company. I'm going to tell you in more detail later. And of course, you will be able to hear our amazing news. Good evening. I'm happy to see you all. And when I just joined that webinar, it was a very interesting question. I'm going to tell you with pride and devotion about our company, United Financial Group, because according to questions, not all the people know why you are here, which opportunities we offer, and what are the advantages of the company. And of course, I'm going to answer your questions. You can ask your questions in the questions bookmark on top in the right-hand corner. So, United Financial Group is an investment company with an own crowd investing platform. And this is not a company where you just carry your money and you sit down and pray for anything not to be broken. Because there are some quote-unquote companies that are not companies, and people are still go there. It's like Russian roulette. And you log onto the website thinking whether the website is going to be operational or not, and your heart is sinking. But United Financial Group is not this type of company. This is an investment fund. United Financial Group investment fund. And our capital does not only come from private investors, but it comes from company partners and partner companies that we cooperate. We are a legal entity. Recently, there was a question in the British team, like, why are you a Russian company but incorporated in Georgia? When we presented our new usage case or box, which has been our product for a year now, there was a question from the foreigners, and I would say that we are a registered legal entity. And when we explained that we were a multinational company and we have international management, there were no more questions about that. At least there were fewer questions. What else? You can invest in our company and you can join us as investor. And the total number of investment participatory shares that we have issued is 2.4 billion shares. You were able to see different figures at previous webinars, but we split shares, and every shareholder has gained more shares automatically by 1,000 factor. And the number of shares that you can buy is 600 million. There are 12 investment stages, and you can buy shares at every stage. The earlier you become our investor, the better for you, because the share price is better. We're now at the 8th investment stage, and there are no more shares to be issued. So those of you who become our investor now, you can be our investor, but there will be no extra shares. This is a good step for you to become our partner now. Dividends have already been paid this February for 2020, and the profit distribution for investment shares comes from the company profit, and this is 100% distribution. Whatever the company earns is distributed for dividends. How does it work? Some information about shares. 2.4 billion shares is full emission. 0.6 billion shares are for sale. So this is for you. And now there is a good chance to expand your portfolio because we are ready to take a big step up. Next, the UFG share is there too. It's 0.2 billion shares, and this is a company share. Also, we get dividends on that share. 90 million shares are distributed between gold and platinum partners. So if you are our investor, you could just be liable to get extra bonuses like that. Next point, the bonus part will also be paid for bonuses, which is 15 million shares and 1.4 billion shares as a backup, as a reserve. The profit is only spent for company development. Dividends are not spent for any company operations. We only spend dividends on the company shares. Dividends are accrued on all shares except reserve, and reserve shares would only be spent if extra funding is needed. This is our investment schedule. We are now on the 8th investment stage, and a total of 60 million, a little bit less, shares are still there for you. So hurry up. If you are not our investor yet, become one. Because if you can see the third column, the price of share at the very first stage, they were able to buy cheaper shares and they have more profit versus those who would join us at the last 12th investment stage. That does not mean that you would lose anything, you would gain time because we're now going to break through. What about the company mission? Somebody is saying that it's all hype, it's a pyramid, but I can tell you that we have a mission. We carry or bring not only dividends to people as well as balanced portfolio, but we carry good things, just good, to those who need it. I can explain it to you later. What kind of good is that? We also invest into IT, information technology development. That is interesting for us, and we need investment information technology, and our line of activities is a business of over $200 billion per year. And the most important thing is that we bring safe immunomodifying medicinal drugs and oncology drugs, and we also develop new medications. The company began its operations in 2019, and the first investment was made in 2019, and over 2,000 investors from 60 countries of the world have trusted their capital to us. we have already invested it into our business. We're expanding our business and we're selling our goods already through an e-shop. Could you please show a link to our e-shop? And those products are environmentally friendly. They are, how to say, they have no side effects. That's very important because there are some patients who could treat one thing but could break another thing. Those, many drugs have lots of side effects like chemotherapy. Therefore, we develop new generation innovative drugs. We really do that, and I can show it to you today. So we are investing into information technology, innovative developments, as well as do we develop our own products. And we are for environmentally friendly, bright future. If it's going to be financially stable and financially nice, that's going to be even better. Here on the chart, you can see the growth of pharmaceutical investments and IT investments over time. The 21st century is the motto of the 21st century is that impossible is nothing. You could never imagine that a few years before, but there was a quantum leap over the recent 10 years. We can see Tesla cars that don't need gasoline. They're not running out of gasoline. It's not possible. And IT sector had its breakthrough too. And we're trying to develop those technologies that are required on planet Earth at the moment, because owing to bad environment, owing to pollution that we can see on the planet today, on the climate change, people may have problems with their health. So we have noticed, we have read, and we understood that every sixth person, 16% of the global population would be over 65 years of age. And this is due to a baby boom that happened in the late 90s, as you remember. So people of that age, they need more environmentally friendly products to treat themselves. And biotechnology is having its renaissance now, the new start. And both sectors keep on going, but biotechnology is at its infancy now, and that sector becomes very lucrative for investors like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and others. If we were told sometime before, like, well guys, let's invest into Google or into Apple or in other companies that are well known today, we would have done that, of course, because now it's too late. But still, you as investors may invest your money into that sector, which is very profitable. Let's talk about the potential of that sector. According to the Human Data Sciences Institution, the volume of global spending for oncology treatment, including supportive therapy, if you know, it's good that to cure a person after surgery is too difficult. It's very difficult than before the surgeon. So the supportive medicine is of primary importance. And we as UFG, we produce a product that maintains your immune system. So the global amount of those expenses reached 150 billion rubles in 2018. $150 billion. But in the coming 5 years, there is an expected growth for that therapy by another 14%, and the whole market would reach $230 billion, and you as investors would get profit from that sector. By 2023, the expenditure for oncology would be $240 billion per year, and drug sales, medicinal drug sales, according to Global Market Intelligence, SAP, the oncology drugs are the biggest hit for pharmaceutical companies in 2019. You can see huge figures, $19 and $17 billion, $11 and $0.8 million, as well as $7 and $12 billion. That's why we go for that sector. And the drugs for oncology treatment have no such side effects, and they are not toxic, unlike other analogs available in the market. Now, if you invest with us as a united financial group towards a business of over 200 billion dollars per year, I like this figure. You get a chance to have access to all products that we produce, and you can purchase them at a minimum price. Twice a year, you get dividends every 6 months. There is some information on the slide, but it's a little bit different. You get dividends every 6 months. You can inherit your shares in the company, or your successor can inherit that. That's why you need to verify your account for your company shares not to be faceless, so to speak. They have to be identified in order to hand it over to your children and grandchildren, and they would be proud of you. Next, you can partake in a safe therapy line of activities and treatment of many diseases, which is our major business. And you also get profit from all investment instruments that are available in the company portfolio. But what is there in the company portfolio? IT and technology, they come first. We work hand in hand with Yellow Blockchain One platform. It has its own messenger, and you can get cryptocurrency for every message that you send. As for cryptocurrency, there was an issue from our side by your request, so we provided our partners with another financial instrument that gives you a chance to get money on the cryptocurrency market. And you're not supposed to be a super mega trader registered across all stock exchanges and have 3 monitors to feel the market pulse. You may invest from $1,000 with us, and our very experienced trader with good statistics, from 4 to 17% over time, so it's 10% on average. And you, as reasonable people, know that there is no guarantee here. There could be less or more than 10, and I do know that it's going to be more. You will be very happy. If less, you would be stressful or unhappy, but this is a live market, and we have invested and entrusted our assets as partners to those who really know the stuff. And using investments in our UFG crypto account, you can buy 20% of extra company shares that would give extra dividends for you. This is what we do. Next, alongside with this Sklifosovsky Ambulance Emergency Care Institute of Moscow, another preparation to clean your body from the inside has been developed. Your immune system stays in your intestines, and pure intestine means healthy immune system. So you can read it there and you can buy it. You can see a link in the chat to an e-shop where you can buy it. Next, there is a Rusich Immuno Balsam made up of 14 unique herbs, and you can buy this immunomodifier. That product would help you in many respects. Even if you don't see any clear signs of or any clear problems, I can tell you that your metabolism would improve. Skin care for women would be better. Your blood vessels get more flexible. You sleep better. You don't need much time for dream. You just have to read it, and there are many advantages of that product because those who used it, they have good feedback and they are happy because it works and it's natural. It has no side effects, no adverse impact on your body. So that's a very good thing, very cool thing created by United Financial Group. And you can get dividends from that product sales. And there is another fantastic product that we have been developing now. Its name is estromelanin. We have translated a book, a story of estromelanin and its founder into English, and we have digitalized that book. Back in 1957, during a Soviet expedition to the Antarctic, they were able to find a black yeast pigment in the soil, and a Soviet biochemist, Svetlana Lyakh, began to study since 1960s, and modern technologies are very, have made a big step now, and equipment which is required for research has become very sophisticated owing to IT developments, the same IT developments. Therefore, there are many more opportunities now to analyze and provide or produce a better product for the market. And last February, we have begun investment into estromelanin, and we started clinical trials of estromelanin. Another news for you, two pieces of news for you. Let's start with this one first. Since the end of April, the black pigment, the Antarctic yeast, found at that time, the yeast strain is a regenerating microorganism, which is a living thing, and this black melanin pigment makes it possible to, well, he has a very strong resistance by nature because the climate where it developed and lived is very severe. Temperature below 0 Celsius, little oxygen, permafrost. So the conditions where those yeast live are very, how to say, adverse. However, they have good conditions to treat oncology. Since April, the work on that pigment was headed by Alina Alexandrova. She is a Moscow State University graduate, the best university in this country, Department of Biology. She is a senior research fellow, and and she is a doctor of biological sciences since 2014. 164 publications, 2 books she has, 31 presentations at conferences. So for you to know that the United Financial Group, well, it's not just, it's not a, you shouldn't have any thought to compare United Financial Group with a pyramid or the like, because we have been conducting big work and we have assistants who help us. You know, we do have values, which is not just to make money. It's not a dollar value. And I came to get this value in this company. Next. The astromelanin research were conducted at Moscow University labs. If you have been staying with us for a longer time, you were able to see a Moscow State University lab guided tour, and you were able to see our reports. New equipment was purchased to equip that laboratory. The work is underway, and with Evgeny's permission, I would be able to show you a few slides. These pictures were taken there. Do you know what is that? Except moderators, please post in the chat. What do you see? What is that? It looks like chromosomes. All right, but this is these are strains of that black melanin pigment. So the work is going on with such strains, and it looks like that, and these are samples. Next. Equipment which was purchased. I don't know what is that, but it looks big and even, how to say, dangerous in a way. Well, Evgeny would be able to explain to us what is that. It's not a washing machine, but it is a spectral analysis equipment. Those vials again, they look like, I don't know, they look like a cooker, but this equipment was purchased to test it. This is how the black yeast pigment looks like in a diluted form. Let me try to read you out loud something. The spectrum check of various melanin types. If you remember, the first batch of melanin was purchased, astromelanin was purchased, and the first sale showed that they were not in line with technical requirements. So we decided to take under control every step of melanin production. So the company is serious about that. To do so, we have purchased independently the strain of black yeast that you can see here. Following that, there were some, conditions selected better replication and accumulation of melanin on a hard breeding ground. Those flat Petri plates with particles in this center. Apart from that, the strain was developed at various substrates. That's what Anton has said. The cola can breeding. It looks strange. I did like biology at school, but I am not a biologist by major. However, it takes colossal knowledge for us. There was an optimum substrate for quick strain growth, and that is very important because if a strain grows, it's going to be more of that strain available, and out of 250 milliliter of that solution, we got 6 milliliter of yeast, black yeast. Then we will be trying to get melanin from cells. It's a little deviation from the methodology, but that could result in an 80% contaminated product. The spectral measurements would be used up until the moment when we get a pure melanin. Following that, melanins will be checked versus antioxidation and anti-cancer activities to have fully independent melanin studies for further commercialization of the project. You know that we're not kidding you. Not much information is available. Maybe you would like to have more information about that. But we cannot show news program on TV every hour. We need it for successful launch of the product. We are not TikTokers or Instabloggers to make news, but the work has been underway, and this is a big piece of work. And we would be able to step much further. If you are an investor already, you could show or bring your money into some participatory shares, and you can understand how serious our company is and the mood that I'm trying to share with you. Look, the question was about dividends, bigger dividends, and so on. I can tell you how I look at it. You came to an investor company as investor, and I'm not sure that any of you had invested more in order to claim dividends. You may ask something from the company, and you can go to other companies, but most of them are fake pyramids. We had a clear sales plan for that balsam, but the situation is as follows. The production line of the balsam for 30,000 bottles for usage preparation. You all get dividends from that twice a year. You don't have to wait for the whole year and then you get it just before Christmas. No, twice a year we have met you halfway, and you as investors, you have entrusted your money. We didn't buy a Lamborghini and no money left. No, we do something. We always do something. We have a strong team, and you know that today, we began operational. A new PR manager joined our company recently. He has already been trying to promote the product at the market, and I know insider information, and I can see that this is not just a bright financial future that the future holds for us. We will have a very bright future. So if you have invested $100 and you are claiming your money back, well, if you want to make more money, let's imagine that it's your own business. You don't have a controlling stake. Everybody can still control something. You may have a bad hair day. You may have spring, issues, but if you want to get more money, I will give you more marketing information during the next webinar, because to stay at home expecting the dollar rain, that won't work. If you are a greedy person and you don't invite anyone into the company, greed means poverty. Set a rule for yourself to share information about our webinars, to invite further new partners. By doing that, we will be able to invest more, and your dividends will also grow. I can tell you what, we have very good investment opportunities, even $50 per month. What is a $50? Just go out for a dinner, or for someone it's a tip. But the company made good flexible conditions for all investors. And even if you have $50 in your pocket, don't go to a restaurant. Stay at home and invest that money not into your stomach, but invest it into yourself, into our company, and get dividends. Your children, your grandchildren will thank you, because what we do is real. It's what needed. That's the future. Rusich is a wonderful balsam. Astromelanin, that is based on melanin, is a wonderful means to help out billions of people on the planet. As you know, oncology is 10 to 16% of people are susceptible to that. And I can see that we can prevent it. So just a little hint for you, how I see it. You invite partners to a presentation. You could have, at all times, if you have questions, you could organize a Zoom session with leaders who are on the chat. I am free for you to get connected via Zoom. I am not just sitting still. I can explain, tell you something, answer your questions. Your partner, when buying something, you get bonuses and dividends. You get bonuses in this case. You get profit. Therefore, you're not just sitting still waiting for something. You get your bonuses just by telling something to our company every month. If you are making a net or a network, or if you're talking to people and telling them about your company, you get a bonus every month. And those bonuses are, you make it for a living. Don't wait, because this is our own business. I know that Evgeny is a very strong person. He has wonderful muscles. He can push, I don't know how much, a barbell of 150 kilos. It's like 2.5 my weight. He is strong, But let's not expect anything from the people. Just do it yourself. There are only 14 of you, and 6 persons present here are our administrators. So please ask them to come over for a presentation, and I will be such a presentation for the next time. It's going to be liked by those who you invited, and they would stay with us. That would be really environmentally friendly and clean, because whatever is done now is a breakthrough. Melanin is a breakthrough, and if you read a book on the results of that melanin without any technology, nearly it was developed 50 to 60 years old. All dogs, cats, and rats got results. People, if said, sorry, we cannot help you, stay at home, drink something and die. No, they went back home and they accepted astromelanin, and there is another news for astromelanin. If you really think that it's all hype or a fake and I have nothing to do, seems to be. But the company conducted tests on volunteers. We have collected a lot of volunteers, those who wanted to test it. So we selected the recommendations of our leading doctor. There is a doctor who is helping us and provides consulting services. Out of 6,000 volunteers, 3 got positive dynamics. 3 persons, 1 person did not get any dynamics, and the 2 people kept on taking that drug, and there was a negative dynamics there. But I can tell you that it's 50%. I can see that Victoria is writing 6% is very little. I agree with you, Victoria. That's true, but not so much time has left. 30 days, and we will continue our research. I have already read it out loud for you. So there are good experts working with that product, and that goes without saying that there is a plan to have a standalone bio herbal supplement by this autumn. If astromelanin or melanin is to support your immune system, you know what it does? It normalizes your cell work. It normalizes your cell conditions as it should be in your DNA code. So it normalizes it and brings it to a certain standard. He or she, a newly born baby, feels better, even if you just accept melanin as a biological supplement by autumn. You will never get any disease. You know what we do. Can you imagine what we do? You can say that 6 is not a metric. It's very little. Indeed, it's little. But I can explain it to you one more time. I probably read it very fast. To develop astromelanin is a lengthy process, is a labor-intensive thing, and you can only get a little of it. The one that was purchased had no good quality. It was a fake. We're now doing a good astromelanin, and you would be able to see results soon. And you will be envious. You will be thinking, why I have not done this or that. Should I read it out loud, what you're writing to me on the internet? So, my congratulations to you with the last Thursday of the month. Well, I quite agree with you that we could invest to the maximum, and don't worry your head about it. So the only thing for you to know is that wait for growing market. Let's not sit still and clap your hands asking for something. If you're not having enough, change your life. Let your glass would be 100% full, because if it's only half, if it has just half of it of water, it means that the other half is occupied by oxygen. Next question. What about the dividend accruals? What month is for the dividend accruals? Answer: July. By July, 6 months would go. June would be over. Accounting office would count your profits, and then you will be getting your dividends. But I don't know when. By the middle of the month. Question: what is going on with Mr. Sorokodum? Answer: we did our job, and we are expecting concrete or specific results on that. 6 men is too little or too few. Well, actually, I do like vortex oscillating technology because it's better than windmills or, windmills or wind energy, because it's convenient to use what is shown on the slides. It's useful, it's convenient, and a little power plant could supply power to a big settlement. That is nice. Look, 31st of July, there's gonna be a accrual of dividends. That's good. And I can see questions. Well, it's all the same. Are there any other questions? Well, I can see questions here. Good evening. Blah, blah, blah. Natalia is writing that were dividends paid out yet? Answer: no. Dividends were only paid once in the last of in the late last year, but next dividend payment is in this July. What I want to say, let's get back to a half-empty glass or half-full glass. Whatever is being done at that company, it's for the benefit of investors. And I can see it, if there is something going on, the 31st of June, the 30th of June is the date for you to get dividends. 6 months later, you can just get these dividends, and you shouldn't be indignant, I suppose, or look like everything is bad. You probably have increased expectations. Do something from your own side. It's going to be better. We as investors, we cooperate, and you as investors, if you purchased shares at a stock exchange, well, I lived in Turkey. I did like Pasabahce glassware. I remember, or you remember, the Pasabahce company. I had company shares, and they gave me 1 million shares of that company, and I always carried a little sachet with me. I mean investment sachet. I never thought that I would buy someone else's books. I came to and I bought shares for a company that I'm investor in, because any profit would be spent for a company development. Look, you need something to do to develop your company. And why don't I have my slides on the screen? Okay, I got it. Now, let's unite efforts. And the next webinar would be, I would like to have more people on stream at our webinar. Russian webinars every second week and English language. I am going to speak Russian to you. I will not be, I'm not going to be just talking marketing or branding. These webinars are in Russian. They are to be translated into French or Vietnamese language, and people staying there, living there, they want to invest and they need information. Well, of course, in Russia, there are hype information, lots of hype. And but here you don't lose your money, you will multiply your money. I can see it. I've read this comment about that I should do something deeper. I know it, Alexander or Alexei, but people may get tired, and this is people's own selection. They tick the box. I agree. You have not used emotions only to do something. It's not possible to be emotions only at that company. You know how to get to that company too. I would put it in a female way. You can go to that company, to this company, with a feeling, because whatever we do is good. We don't set targets to gain something over time. I don't feel any greed here. I like it here. Victoria writing, let's wait for Evgeny Rusich at the next webinar. Let's do what? If there are more people, Evgeny Rusich is going to be your bonus. He would log on to the webinar to see how many people are there. And probably this time he said, let me not waste my time and let me do something else. But seriously, let's unite efforts. And if you need assistance, please come to us. And if you need Zoom conferences, tell us. I'm happy to help you do something. And those who are left, I can give you one more thing. Probably for those who are there in our company, there would be a good chance soon to get even more invitations. Well, if there are no more questions, I wish you a good Friday tomorrow and good weekend. Sunny, warm days. I was happy to see you all. Thank you for your input, for your answers, and I am grateful for your attention. I'm happy to see those who, well, I wish you well. I'm not going to cut you out. Okay, all the best. What else is worth mentioning here? I wish you good wealth and good life. Until next week. Bye-bye.